Those who aspire to be our leaders should be trying to bring us together and not turning us against one another.
They're bad people, and I really think they don't like our country.
The job of a true leader is not to stoke people's anger.
The good old days, they'd rip him out of that seat so fast.
Donald Trump has created a toxic environment.
Nobody wants to hurt each other anymore, right? And they're being politically correct the way they take them out. So it takes a little bit longer. And honestly, protesters, they realize it. They realize that there are no consequences to protesting anymore.
Yes, he deserved it. The next time we see him, we might have to kill him.
Encouraging violence is wrong, and that's why I've called it out.
Do you believe that you've done anything to create a tone where this kind of violence would be encouraged?
I hope not. I truly hope not. Get him out. Try not to hurt him. If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it.
You regret saying any of those things, especially the things that you have said about punching protesters, sending them out on stretchers?
No, I don't regret it at all. Maybe he should have been roughed up because it was absolutely disgusting what he was doing.
We have to be politically correct. Oh, please don't hurt them. They're allowed to get up and interrupt us horribly, and we have to be very, very gentle, very gentle. They can swing, they can hit people, but if we hit them back, it's a terrible, terrible thing.
I came here to speak on behalf of Donald Trump. My idea is simply this. America was built by and for the white Christian people of this nation. Blood and soil! 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 Whose streets? Our streets! 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 We're going to fulfill the promises of Donald Trump. That's what we believed in. That's why we voted for Donald Trump, because he said he's going to take our country back, and that's what we got to do.
You're putting what you're calling the alt-left and white supremacists on the same moral plane.
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this. You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Now, we're learning a little bit more about the woman that he killed when he powdered over with his car. Her name was Heather Heyer.
Well, right now we are awaiting a news conference from Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe on the apparent act of terrorism that occurred in Charlottesville, Virginia this afternoon when that car plowed into a crowd, killing one person and injuring 19 others. The white nationalist protesters had originally assembled to demonstrate against the city's decision to remove a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee from a public park. But the unrest that we saw today is just the latest reaction to Confederate monuments being taken down across the South. Brian Yennis is live in our New York City newsroom with more. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Eric. Well, just how did we get here? A simple question, but many answers. Today's violence in Charlottesville by Nazis and white nationalists started as a rally against the decision to remove the statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee from a public park, but it quickly became about hate, bigotry, and racism.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides.
It's condemnation from so many corners of American life, including members of the president's own party. Republicans upset he doubled down, blaming both sides again for the violence. Republican Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen tweeting, blaming both sides for Charlottesville? No. Back to relativism when dealing with KKK, Nazi sympathizers, white supremacists? Just no. Senator Marco Rubio, who lost the Republican nomination, again tweeting the president should call the events in Charlottesville, quote, a terror attack by white supremacists. Democratic Senator Mark Warner tweeting, no words. But the president did earn praise from one corner, white supremacists, who took it as a sign of acceptance. David Duke, the former KKK Grand Wizard, writing, thank you, President Trump, for your honesty and courage to tell the truth about Charlottesville. And white nationalist Richard Spencer said the president's remarks were fair and down to earth.
The fact that it took the president 2 days to come out and clearly denounce racists and white supremacists is shameful.
After 2 days of relentless public pressure, the president finally got around to saying specifically that Nazis are bad.
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans.
It wasn't terribly different from what he said before. It has a lot of kumbaya and a lot of kind of nostalgia to it. We need to rediscover these bonds that we've had together. I mean, I don't, does anyone really believe that?
You don't believe that was a condemnation?
Of me? No.
Another story from the AP tonight carries the headline, White Nationalists, Charlottesville, just a beginning. It quotes a leader of the movement named Matthew Heimbach as saying, we're going to be more active than ever before.
I think that a lot more people are going to die before we're done here, frankly.
We will be back.